Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It's time for the next episode, the newest episode of Moon Knight. It is here. Season 1, Episode 5, titled Asylum. Makes total sense because last week's episode, everything got turned on its head. So the episode was playing along as tradition in terms of the storytelling, which Moon Knight has just been killing it. But last week's episode, the tomb is playing. Of course, Khonshu is, locked up and there's no access to summoning the suit for Steven or Mark. And everything comes to a head where Arthur's there. He shoots Steven twice. Shoots him twice. I'm like, did he just fucking kill Steven? I'm like, no. Steven wakes up in an insane asylum. And I was noticing some parallels of like certain things that was connecting to what we had just witnessed in terms of certain characters and certain, things in terms of like there's like a drawing of a bird, but the face is like Khonshu's face on the bird. It's kind of strange. But there was other people pointing out other things I didn't notice till after I finished the episode, and people were just pointing out other stuff like, oh, the guy he was calling out Bingo, that was the golden statue guy. I'm like, what? So I had to go back. I'm like, holy crap, it is. And there's a woman who like says something and she's taking pills or she just takes a cup or whatever, and the camera's slowly panning. I didn't realize that was the woman that was Steven's manager from the museum. I had no idea. Like there were certain things I'm like, holy crap. All the details, some that I noticed right away watching the episode, and others I didn't until later, made me appreciate the reveal more, that this was all a dream or this was all, in Steven's head. But really, this is just all messing with Steven, because then he runs into, not Steven, excuse me, Mark. Get my point. It's 4 fucking in the morning. It's 4:30 in the morning. But then Mark runs into Steven. They hug it out, and I don't know how to pronounce the god's name, but a hippo god comes through the doors, hi, and they both scream like shit and freak out, and then it cuts. Of course it cuts at that point. I'm so intrigued because I feel with this reveal, even though we're all under the assumption, whether, whatever theory we're believing in, that this is all within Mark's head. This is not actually real in terms of this asylum thing. It's a whole thing. It's all that they think now we're within Steven's head or Mark's head. You get my point. They're interchangeable in my opinion, but we're following Mark's perspective. So the implication is that we're in Mark's head or within the head of the body they're both sharing, or all three are sharing if you want to include Jake. Anyways, so sorry I'm getting the names mixed up, guys. I'm still trying to wake up, so apologies for that. Apologies, I can't even fucking talk. Let's go, guys. Episode 5 of Moon Knight Asylum. I'm going to try to get through this and try not to flub anymore and be a dumbass. Let's go.
This is all your fault.
Right? You're doing everything possible not to look within.
Hmm.
Really a doctor.
No.
It's not about me, okay?
It's not about you. Actually, well, kind of. Not really, though.
Retrace your steps. Rhinoceros and hippopotamus. You're right.
Hippopotamus.
You're right. It was a hippopotamus. The new animal character.
Hippopotamus.
I feel like $1 million. Never felt so good. I want to see.
I feel like $1 million. I want to get out of here.
Is he always so intense?
Yes, intense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So are you two like twins?
No.
Well.
Sort of.
I'm afraid you're actually quite dead.
I'm sorry.
What? Quite dead? Oh, so you did die.
Welcome, gentle travelers,
Travelers.
to the realm of the Duat.
Duot.
The ancestral plane. Oh, just gorgeous.
Is it gorgeous?
I do actually.
Why would we imagine this realm to be a psychiatric hospital?
Because we're insane.
Well, that's true. I agree with that. Oh? What the fuck? Oh!
Oh, goody!
What the hell?
Good work, look at that! Here's little old me worrying I'd blow your chest wide open.
Kill the hippo. Steal the bone.
You can't
Fellas,
kill the god. Uh-oh.
get in there and show each other the truth. Balance your scales before we arrive at the field of reeds.
Okay.
Or your souls will be destroyed.
Oh, someone's calling for help.
You killed all of them? They were criminals,
Wow.
murderers,
All of
predators,
them.
The worst of the worst.
Mark,
Is that
Why is there
them
a
as a
child
boy?
in a room filled with people
But
that
he
you've
doesn't
killed?
recognize him.
Mom.
Mom.
Who's ready? Who's hungry? Roro? Mark? What do? Keep an eye on your brother.
Can you hear that, Dr. Grant? I sure do, Rosa. Sounds to me like danger.
Oh, they're pretending to be the characters. Oh shit. Going in the cave.
Come on, lads! We have to leave now!
They can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me?
But what's the memory? Like, your younger brother, his death, right?
You were supposed to keep him safe?
Stephen, let's go.
Jesus.
This is all your fault!
Just about to blow out the candles now.
She doesn't care about her other son's birthday. She's drinking.
You were always jealous of him.
Well, oh God.
I should have known you would do something like this.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
All right. We will fix this. You're supposed to fix this. I mean, why haven't you? Should have seen it.
Jesus. Oh, what the hell? Yeah. Yep. Oh shit.
What a waste.
Huh?
I feel the pain. Your mind. I feel it. Fractured.
He was manipulating you from the start.
Sounds like it.
It's alive.
Yeah.
Look, he was taking advantage of you. Have we done it? Have we balanced him?
Not exactly. Still a little more to go.
Then rise. Rise. Rise and live again. Moon Knight.
So this is the introduction.
Even if I could send you back up there, you'd just be returning to a body with a bullet in it. You wouldn't be able to heal.
Can you send word to Layla? Please help us free Khonshu.
That's just really freaking cool, man.
Get back inside!
Yeah, get back inside.
You don't have long. Cut those scales.
We don't have to go back to
You
it.
have to go back there.
We can just talk.
He was a no.
Right,
He has to see it.
I'll tell you everything. We're about to lose everything. Do you understand? If we don't get back,
Yeah.
and Harrow succeeds, and
We can't involuntarily sedate patients. Not these
You
days.
can't. He's just there waiting to stick him again.
Can you open up to Stephen?
Can you? And the answer is he doesn't want to go into that room. So
I
don't remember this.
this is my room.
Mm-hmm.
I remember some things, but I don't
Okay.
remember this.
Don't open the door, dude. Do not open the door.
Open this door.
Is it the first time that happened?
See how-
Maybe.
Look at the state of this place.
Danger is near.
Mmm.
Stephen Grant has no fear.
Has no fear. Mmm. Good.
You see what she did? Disgusting. You're not meant to see that. You're not meant to see that. That's the whole point of you.
Hmm.
That she was kind. That she's still alive.
She's dead.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Where are you gonna go? Oh. 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 Oh.
You a doctor?
Yes, doctor. Doctor.
Harrow, yeah? Is it? No haircut?
Haircut.
No silly tash there?
Yeah. That's the way to say it.
Ned Flanders?
Would you like to speak with her? What do we call her?
Yeah, how about we call
What
mom?
number do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-800-MOM's still alive, right?
Would you like to speak to your mom?
She's not really on the phone, dude. Yeah, take that call though. Take it. Just standing out there. That's the shot we saw earlier. Yep. Just like everything's just falling apart. That one decision and just
Hey, Mum. Hey, you alright? Yeah,
who's on the other line?
I am totally lost again.
It's not an actual phone call, I don't think.
No,
On the
it's a little
phone.
puppet. No, I know I did. I shouldn't have brought him in that cave. I shouldn't have brought him
Nope.
in that cave. Hey,
No.
you were just a child.
Ooh, they're like they're sand. He said baseball bat. Come on. Come on. Go, Steven. This is going to balance the scales. Good hit. Because they're working together as one. Maybe. Oh, shit. He can't. He's not going to make it. Damn it. Come on.
The scales are balanced.
Because there can only be one. Wow. Holy crap, this freaking episode. The scales finally balanced because Steven is now gone. It's just Mark. That's what was holding back the scales from being completely balanced. I'm like, so how's this going to go? Because the reveal of how Steven was born and just the whole backstory of Mark's life, holy crap. This was probably the most emotional episode of the show. Clearly. Wow. And to find out that the Asylum is just a version of basically the gates to the afterlife, or the thing that's heading to the afterlife, and the whole idea of, balancing your heart, and it's got to be balanced out before you go to the afterlife, all that kind of stuff. And so, like, just the vision of what they're going through, both Mark and Steven, is just like they're seeing it as an asylum. And it's coming back and forth between both of them trying to learn about each other's things, or basically Steven learning about what happened to Mark. Because, of course, Steven doesn't have a separate, he has a separate life, but he was born because of Mark needing him to be something else, to become something else. And I hear that, I'm thinking Green Arrow from Arrow, because that's what he would say in his little intro monologue. I have to become something else. But that's really what happened. Just holy crap, just so much happened. So let's go through this, because Mark's life just really went downhill really fucking quick. So we see Mark and his younger brother. And because when Steven goes through and he's like, Mom? And then it cuts and we see they're making food or whatever. And Mark and his younger brother, they didn't say his name. I thought for a second, okay, so they're going to say this is Steven, right? This is Steven, Mark's younger brother, and he created Steven. But no, because when they actually when they jumped to the Asylum portion of last week's episode, they had this movie, the Tomb or something, Hunters, Busters, something like that, and it's Stephen Grant. And so they show you throughout, Mark's backstory that he creates Steven. He creates a version of this movie character he was seeing to cope and to kind of mask what he witnessed and everything, and basically is just living a separate life. It's a whole different personality. So it wasn't his younger brother, but the decision he made, because we have young Mark and his brother going, walking towards the cave, and it starts raining, and then Mark's younger brother says, we're not supposed to play in the cave, we're not supposed to do this when it's raining. He's like, don't worry about it, it's fine, it's raining. Steven follows and watches Mark, and we don't see it, but we hear they're screaming when the cave is flooding, and then it cuts to the funeral of Mark's younger brother. And this is the turn, because the opening of the episode had this woman screaming. The woman was Mark's mother, and then it cuts to Hippo God, which they said her name. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Something. I don't know. So apologies for that. That was a really interesting part of the episode for sure. But she was helping them out. And that was really cool. But the funeral itself, Mark comes down like, oh, fuck. And then she's like, it's all your fault. Like, she's screaming at Mark. I'm like, this is the start of the turning point. His mother was never the same. And she lived for quite a while. Because he said that it was 2 months before all the events started to occur, where he said, my life and your life, Steven, started to intertwine, blend together, like more than it ever did, because of Mom's death. And the reason why Steven was even created is because of Mark needed Steven to be a thing. So now with the death of the mom, it just threw everything out. It just threw everything against the wall. Everything just kind of collided on itself. And so, seeing the mom screaming at him, Mark running upstairs, and then they're having a birthday, and Mark's dad's trying his hardest to be there for his son. And then we have a birthday with her not showing up. And then the next birthday we see is she's behind, walking towards Mark at the table with a giant bottle of liquor. And then there's a glass of liquor sitting down. You were always jealous of him. I knew you would do something like this. I'm like, who the fuck says that to their kid? Like, understand, Mark did not intentionally kill his younger brother. He did not intentionally take him to that cave to murder him. But she has completely lost it. And I'm assuming since we saw the first birthday, this was the second birthday, I'm assuming after the event, that all she's been doing is drinking and just staying up in her room or something. Or she's just been constantly drinking. And here's my thing. We all cope differently, but I would think that there should have been some sort of therapy going on for the mom. Because, like, the dad, obviously, he's coping with the loss of a son. But also, too, it's like he's not walking around blaming Mark for what occurred. Even though it was a bad decision. And you can interpret that it is Mark's fault. But ultimately, Mark didn't go down to the cave with his brother to kill him. He didn't intentionally do it. It was just a really bad choice, a really bad mistake. But I think that the mom clearly needed therapy or something, or I don't know. But my God. So we see the birth of Steven, essentially, where he's in his room, and Steven's trying to get into the room to see what happened to young Mark. He's like, you don't need to go in there. You don't need to go in there. So eventually we go in there. And we see him kind of cuddling. He's on the floor, just like fetal position, just like freaking out. It's like, oh God. And then he's like, it's not mom, it's not mom, it's not. It is mom. Mom's banging on the door. Let me in the door. Let me in that room. We see the birth of Steven. He transformed into Steven. And then we cut away. So we start hearing it, but we cut away from his mom beating Steven. It's Mark beating Steven. And Steven realizes, like, I was just created as your, like, stress ball or whatever. I'm like, yeah. It's very interesting. Because it wasn't like Steven was created, or they're both inhabiting the same body. Like, in the sense that, yeah, it is, because split personality situation. But Mark created Steven in a very dark time. And now everything's just kind of going haywire. And unfortunately now Steven is dead. And that's how Mark is able to get past and come back. Oh, Jesus. What I love so much about Moon Knight is how well they have been progressing and pacing this story. Because a lot of people have been talking about the pacing of Moon Knight and comparing it to the other Marvel shows, Disney Plus shows we've gotten from Marvel Studios, in terms of how they've been progressing the stories and how they're comparing. And just what they did in this episode, there was so much backstory and explanation, and then the major reveal of the birth of Steven, and then just the death of Steven, how he is now no longer a part of Mark, essentially. Because I think that Steven's now truly gone. And Mark, it's just Mark now. We also get to see the birth of the rebirth, essentially, or, the beginnings of Moon Knight. Where Mark was there, and he's dying, and he hears Khonshu, and he accepts. And Steven's like, he was manipulating you since the beginning. Like, well, man, no, maybe he was actually just pushing me and making me continue what I already was. Like, I was just continuing down that path. And Khonshu just gave me that option to continue doing what I was already doing. But the show's just doing such a great job of pacing all this out and how they're not wasting time. And then if you look at shows like Falcon Winter Soldier, you look at Hawkeye, Loki at times, they just weren't as engaging, and the stories they were telling weren't just like progressing like this. So got to give major props to Moon Knight. And I think WandaVision did a great job as well in terms of pacing, but they had more episodes, but less time per episode. But they had a very interesting story they had to tell that wasn't, you know, traditional in a sense. And this isn't really traditional either, because we're dealing with multiple personalities. We're dealing with the fact that Steven and Mark, they actually died. They actually got, like, Mark actually got shot there. Yeah, oh, no, I think, was it Steven? No, it was Mark. I think Mark had taken over before he got shot, but still. Then cutting back and forth between Dr. Arthur Harlow, or whatever his name is, it's Arthur. That's who I know the character. That's the name I remember. And he's there trying to explain, like, oh yeah, well, Steven, you actually came here because of what happened, you know, with your mom's death. It's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And it's like, it's just a lot of stuff inside Mark's head. And the fact that Steven actually talked to Arthur was kind of interesting as well. Like, oh, haircut. I forget how he explained the mustache, but it was funny. But overall, this was just a great episode. I cannot wait for the finale. At the same time, I'm also kind of bummed that the show's ending, because I don't think there's a second season. I could be wrong, but I've been enjoying the show, even though I've been waking up at 4:30 in the fucking morning to watch the show. In terms of getting out the video as fast as possible, but I've been enjoying the journey. The journey has been fun as hell. I can't get enough of it, and so I can't wait for the finale next week. I'm curious to know what's going to happen. Intense stuff here. I'm assuming Mark's going to come back. He's going to have to. I mean, literally, we have one more episode. I'm hoping the last one's a little bit longer. I'm hoping just so we can wrap everything up in a proper bow, because I would hate for the final episode to occur next week, and it doesn't stick the landing. I really hope it does. So anyways, that's the video. That's the reaction. I'm curious to know, guys, what you thought about this episode. What were some of your highlights? How'd you feel about the birth of Steven and the whole reason why Steven even exists, and what we witness as, you know, what happened to young Mark? Whatever thoughts you have about the episode and anything in particular, let me know in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.